Hi, everyone. This is Kathy Mason from MasonWorks Marketing on Conscious Business Zone. And today I'm here with Peter Goldstein, and I can't wait for you to meet him and hear what he's doing with conscious business and with plant-based foods information. So, Peter, hi, how are you today? I hate on these trucks.
Well, hi, Kathy. I'm doing great and really enjoying and appreciating my opportunity to do my contribution business. I've retired from my technology business a number of years ago, and a long time ago, when I was very young, I decided that we have it all backwards, to work all our lives and then retire when we're old and sick and can't really enjoy life is just backwards. So I retired at a fairly young age and enjoyed my life, and I'm still really enjoying it. And now I'm doing my passion work. And my passion has always been to do contribution and help make this a better world. And so I'm participating in what I believe is the greatest problem we currently have in our culture, and that has to do with our chronic disease epidemic. We currently have so many people dying a hard death, suffering at the end of life with chronic diseases like diabetes and cardiovascular disease and strokes and so forth. And the top 15 killers, as it turns out, are absolutely preventable and reversible. We have a huge amount of evidence-based science that shows that cardiovascular disease, strokes, diabetes, high blood pressure, they're all preventable and reversible with a change in lifestyle. We have this chronic disease epidemic that's rampant, and we have a solution to it, and the solution is lifestyle. So the real problem is that the solution is left unimplemented. So my mission is to help find ways for more people to implement this wonderful solution. So one of my heroes, Dr. Furman, he says, live long and die fast. And his research shows that we're really built to live to be about 100 and die fast, die in a week, die overnight.
Oh, no.
Suffer with chronic disease and go through diabetes and strokes and all kinds of really awful things. And that's absolutely unnecessary.
Well, Peter, the thing that's fascinating about all of this is that you started, when I met you, well, I guess 3 or 4 years ago. I think it's been that long. You were talking.
Longer, I think.
Uh-oh. I don't know. It all gets together after a while. But we were talking about alternative healing and using actually common sense and ancient knowledge, just renewing it back into this modern lifestyle. And you've done that by working with doctors and doing programs with health, plant-based food. And could you talk a little bit about, well, first of all, I think it's fascinating that you retired young, and now you're still going strong, probably working harder than you were before. Can you tell us a little bit, because you did start your business as a B Corp. Can you tell us a little bit about that, and then about the plant-based food work with the doctors?
I'm sorry, were you asking me about my business that I've retired from?
No, I was asking you to talk about the business, the conscious way you set up your business that you have.
Certainly. Yeah. So setting up business as a B corporation. And if you're not familiar with the concept of a B corporation, it's actually a new age meld of a traditional corporation and a not-for-profit corporation. So a traditional corporation by law is obligated to have a mission of maximizing shareholder equity. And that's actually part of the chronic disease epidemic and part of the problems that we have, because corporations are just really focused on short-term profits, and they don't have to be conscious. They could be brainwashing and marketing and lying and coercing and doing all kinds of terrible things, because all they're really out to do is maximize short-term profits for shareholders. So making a profit is not a bad thing, but we need to do it consciously, and we need to do it with contribution. We need to take care of all the stakeholders, our customers, our owners, our community, the world, and do well all around. A not-for-profit model is to just be of service and serve the world and make this a better world, and not necessarily efficient from a business perspective. So B Corporation melds the two. So making a profit is a good thing, but making a profit consciously is the way we really need to do it. So we need to be of service all the way around. So our business, Hippocrates Docs, we're a B Corporation. So for us to be of service is just as important as making a profit. So currently our first program, our first project is a not-for-profit project. It's called Just One Thing for Health, which is a baby steps program to help support people in changing lifestyle, because changing habits is daunting without support. So our mission is to support people one step at a time in changing their lives. So that's the B Corporation. That's the model that we're following. That's what we're committed to.
So the docs, it's not Microsoft Word docs, it's real doctors.
It's real doctors, right? So our mission is to support doctors as they're supporting their patients to succeeding with lifestyle change. And this concept of lifestyle change in medicine is a wonderful new concept that's gaining momentum in our culture. In fact, we now have a board certification for doctors in lifestyle medicine, so which is really awesome. And the whole movement, it really goes back 30 years now, and it's growing momentum, and it's just really wonderful. I'm looking forward to a tipping point where lifestyle solutions is the real solution to preventing and reversing disease, rather than just taking another pill that has more side effects and going down that slippery slope.
Right. Well, and also the empowerment issue, when you're under a doctor's care and you're a guinea pig trying this versus that, versus you having total control of your diet and your exercise and how much water you drink. That's a different concept than, oh, they'll take care of me. When you know that the system's kind of broken, not everybody, I'm sure there's incredible doctors that are doing incredible work that aren't prescribing drugs that aren't needed and are very attentive to their customers, but the culture is, you and I are similar age. I think you might be a little older than me, but and also a Buckeye from Ohio.
Yes.
But anyway, the idea that you just pop a pill, oh, you have a headache, take an aspirin, but what about the thing the body's trying to tell you? What about why you have the headache? If you totally just turn the dial off, then the body can't communicate with you and get your support.
Absolutely. And so it really, at the very foundation of it, is personal power. The very foundation of it is for us each to take charge of our lives and to really step into that. Because as things are now, we're just really brainwashed in a way to just think, well, I can do whatever and I'll take a pill for it. I can eat till my stomach is turning upside down and I have heartburn, to the hills, and I'll just pop a pill and it will go away. But that's really suppressing things. And we have a most miraculous body and incredible systems, and it is a system, and it's just literally millions of parts to it. And we have this autoimmune system, and we have the mechanism to manage and heal our bodies. Our bodies are so powerfully self-healing. When we take drugs, that will just turn off one thing and really doesn't take care of the rest of the body, and all of a sudden things go out of balance, and the more drugs we take, and the further out of balance we really are.
Well, so Peter, could you talk or share with the audience a little bit about the doctors that are working with you, with your system?
Right. So our initial project, Just One Thing for Health, and we spell that with the number 1 and the number 4, and you can find out more about it at justonethingforhealth.com. And we offer, it's a free subscription. Our doctors have asked us to never charge for it. So it's truly a not-for-profit contribution project to help people with baby steps. Our initial goal is to get 30 different doctors, each one talking about just one thing, one habit to change at a time. So one thing at a time, one new habit a week, to break down the old habits, the old beliefs, and start seeing that we really can feel so much better just by watching our lifestyle. Much of it is about food, but recently we've just had a doctor who actually healed herself from lupus with lifestyle change. And in Western medicine, lupus is pretty much unhealable, but in fact, lifestyle changes have healed her. So food is a big part of it, and stress management is a big part of it. So her when she was our featured doctor for the week, Dr. Chris Miller from Aspen, she was talking about stress management, and we had a really wonderful conversation. So our Just One Thing for Health program has 2 components. One is on Saturdays, we send out a challenge email inviting people to change one habit and focus on that for the week. And then the second component is we have a Physicians on Call Live. We have a Zoom call on Tuesday evenings with our featured doctor, where actually it's probably a very powerful and unique opportunity for somebody to call in live and ask the doctor their specific questions. And there's no cost for it. It's free, and people can ask the doctor any question they want.
That's fantastic. It's hard to get a doctor to talk to you, even if you're in the regular system, right? So
absolutely. Well, you know what? And it's one of the most amazing things in my work has been that these doctors, most doctors are really wonderful, caring, giving people, but these doctors are just that on steroids. I mean, they will do anything to help people change their lifestyle and really of their health. So these are beautiful people. It's been such an honor, so wonderful to get to know these doctors and work with them, as well as so many other people this is a movement and it's growing momentum, and it's so many really wonderful people involved, and all dedicated to do whatever it takes to help people get healthy and avoid the chronic disease epidemic.
I consider that a conscious choice. I mean, the stress levels that people have, it's almost like the test to see if you can still stay calm or sleep or anything. It's just between the phone, all the digital devices and everything in your life, to get that calm center. And of course, the food, if it's full of all sorts of chemicals, and you're eating. I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat animals, but if you're eating their adrenaline that they just died with, I mean, you just think about, oh, it's horrifying actually. So, Peter,
Absolutely.
other thing, when I first met you, you were working with doctors because of heart health. Could you talk a little bit about that? Because I find that that's fascinating to me that cardiac, cardio, I don't know what you call that kind of doctor, a heart doctor.
Sure,
Um,
cardiovascular doctor. Absolutely.
right.
And, that's just part of it. Our leading killer in this country is cardiovascular disease. And well over 500,000 people die every year from cardiovascular disease. And we now have so many thousands of studies and leading doctors who have absolutely proven this, that they can reverse cardiovascular disease. So one of my favorite heroes in this movement is Dr. Esselstyn, who in his latest study, he's taken 200 patients whose cardiologists have actually given up on them in most cases. So they've had all the stents and bypass surgeries they could handle. He's taken these people, and these are people who maybe had 6 months to live. And by changing lifestyle, he's gotten them to thrive decades later. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. And he did that 100% of the time. So he documented 200 patients, and every single one of them has thrived by changing lifestyle. And it's amazing. And so hospitals and the pharmaceutical industry, they're caught in a really tough place, because each one of these patients, every event that they didn't need to have a bypass surgery, open heart surgery, things like that, that's 6 figures to the hospital. I mean, change what you eat and cost the hospital system, $100,000 plus, so it's crazy. And yeah.
Well,
The side effects of changing lifestyle is weight loss and fewer aches and pains and less, what am I looking for? It's all the aches and pains, all the inflammation. So most diseases, inflammation's behind most diseases, and inflammation is caused, at least in part, by the acidity that we get from eating meat and animal products. And so by alkalizing our bodies with plant-based foods, we avoid the inflammation, and therefore we can treat our bodies much more gently, because the acidity in our system just eats away at our organs and damages our cells and our blood system.
so if you any does this work for people at all ages? So these people, for instance, that the 200 people that changed their diet and had remarkable changes in their cardiology, was it a specific age group, or can this help anybody at any age?
Absolutely. This will help everybody at every age. The people he was working with were, end of life. They were chronically ill, so they were older people mostly. But, the food, it's so sad, but the food causes so many crazy things. One of the things that really blows my mind is I was talking with a pediatrician recently, one of our doctors. She's telling me that we have 12-year-old girls coming down diagnosed with breast cancer from the milk. 12-year-old girls with breast cancer. So it's every age. It's crazy. It's our food. It's the hormones in the milk. It's the chemicals. It's the antibiotics. And that on top of the fact that animal protein, it's been proven in laboratories that animal protein, cancer cells thrive on animal protein and die from plant protein.
Oh,
it's been proven that, and oil is another big part of it. Now we're seeing a lot of information where diabetes, one of the fundamental causes of diabetes is oil, actually, and not sugar. What happens is they're showing how oil clogs up the insulin receptors in cells, and so the insulin can't get in. And you know, it's things like that. It's all food. It's just amazing how powerful food is.
Can't be my olive oil.
Any
No,
oil.
I don't want to give up my olive oil. I'm sorry, I lived in Italy. I still want my olive oil, but I'm happy to give up all the other.
Yeah,
So
well, absolutely. I mean, you look at the standard American diet, and we call that the SAD, the SAD diet, standard American diet. And I mean, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I mean, deep frying stuff, and it's just the oils and fats are incredible. And you know, a little bit of olive oil. There's no real research showing that. Well, if you cut back to just a little bit of olive oil, what that really does for you, or to you. But generally, a lot of oil is really bad.
oh, okay, okay. Well, Peter, we had some. The reason why I like this platform is that you get to see some people's comments. And Stuart, thank you, Stuart. He said great discussion. But we don't have any questions. If there's any viewers on, there's 4 people on right now. If anybody has any questions, this would be the time to ask. And then otherwise, hopefully that you'll still engage at the bottom of the feed, and I'll put Peter's website link in the bottom of the feed so that you can connect with him. And this is so valuable. There is so much opportunity right now with the information available right now to live a much more conscious life. And that
Absolutely.
if you're more vital, have more energy. Oh, here we go. What do you think of nightshades is what Olivia is asking.
Nightshades.
That's nightshade vegetables. That's tomatoes,
Right.
eggplant.
Right. So the doctors that I follow, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. My passion is about taking the information that these amazing doctors are researching, and there's literally tens of thousands of studies on nutrition and food. And what they say is it's really important to get a variety. And I have not seen anybody show that any plant-based foods are detrimental. So nightshades. So it's really about a variety, and it's about one of the things is color. The color of different vegetables indicate the variety of nutrition and the antioxidants that are present in the vegetables. So I haven't seen anything that says that nightshades are bad.
Okay.
And then, of course, you know, people have different sensitivities. So possibly if you have a sensitivity to nightshades, you want to manage that for yourself. But scientifically, I've seen nothing that says that nightshades are bad.
Okay. So Peter got there's a couple questions for you. Kathy Botchman. Hi, Kathy. I've heard that soy, or at least unfermented soy, destroys the thyroid. Do you know anything about that?
I'm sorry, what destroys the thyroid?
Soy, or at
Soy.
least unfermented soy.
Right. I haven't seen that, and I'm not a doctor. I know one of our doctors is currently writing a book on thyroid issues. So if you want to reach out to me, Kathy, I'd be more than happy to connect you with her, and you can have really wonderful conversations with her, and she'll give you the scientific knowledge and her holistic lifestyle input on the thyroid and everything else that would be connected with it.
Great. Okay. One more, and then we'll sign off. But Stuart's asking, what's the best way to detox his body so he can absorb more of the natural nutrients that he eats?
Right. So, well, Stuart, are you plant-based currently, or?
Is.
Yeah. So you know what? It's interesting because detoxes and fasts and these kinds of things and supplements and the doctors, the research, they're basically Western medicine based, and they all say that, you know, once we are on a steady diet of the right foods, we don't need supplements, we don't need to detox. Our bodies will naturally do that.
And it frees up so much energy. Okay, so
Oh,
yeah,
it creates a lot of energy. Absolutely.
right, right. So, if we want to be vital and really make a difference in the world, which I think all of the people that work with me are passionate about making the world a better place, this is the way to go. This is the way that you
Absolutely.
can actually engage at full capacity for as long as possible, and then go to sleep.
Right. Yeah, and your callers who are asking the questions, I would really invite them. It's a free call. We have calls on Tuesday evenings, and you can ask your question directly of a doctor, of an MD, of a doctor who's, many of them are certified in lifestyle medicine, and some are working towards that board certification. They're all studied in food as medicine, lifestyle as medicine. And, you know, we're here to show you all the resources. Probably one of my favorite resources is Dr. Greger's nutritionfacts.org online. And his mission, he has a nonprofit, and their mission is to review all the nutritional studies everywhere. And every year they review like 20, 30,000 different studies and evaluate them. And he releases a blog every day about something else, and his site is searchable. So any questions that you have, whether it's detox or thyroid, you can search that site and have access to all the nutritional studies and research.
Really? Okay, so Peter, we're gonna end our conversation, but I'm going to put your website in the explanation at the top of the video. And I'd love it if when you get a chance, when you get out of your car and back where you're on the computer, that you would connect with the people on the feed and possibly give them some of these links so
Absolutely.
that just push button easy for them to participate, because
you bet.
what you're doing is so important. I really, really honor what you're doing and the fortitude, the passion that you've had, and the fortitude that you've had going forward with it. I just I'm so grateful, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad you could join me here today.
Well, thank you very much. And I really appreciate what you're doing. This is such a beautiful show you're doing, connecting people with who are passionate about being conscious. And that's really what it's about, is moving forward in this world as we move into being more conscious and more caring, and makes for a much better world for everybody. So thank you, Kathy.
Yeah. Okay, well, drive careful.
All right. Take care.
Happy holidays.
Bye. You too. Bye. Thank you, Kathy. Bye, everybody.